Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Monday Night Raw review for the date of April 16th, 2018. And of course, here tonight we're talking the Superstar Shakeup. And ladies and gentlemen, I can safely tell you that this Monday Night Raw mirrored exactly what we seen last week on Monday Night Raw. Only difference was, this week, you had a bunch of superstars debuting and coming in and returning from Smackdown Live because it was a Superstar Shakeup. Meanwhile, last week, you just had a bunch of returns, debuts, and NXT call-ups to pad out Monday Night Raw. But in between all of the exciting returns and in between all of the exciting shakeups, what did we see? We saw the same old garbage that we always see on Monday Night Raw, and that of course is uninspired bullshit. So, of course, like always, we're going to go over everything that happened on Monday Night Raw here tonight. Holy crap, there were a bunch of shakeups here tonight. I don't even know how to keep track of all the shakeups that happened here tonight, all the superstars that came over from SmackDown. SmackDown got excavated as far as talent goes. Monday Night Raw took a lot of what SmackDown has, but believe me, SmackDown Live is better off, because what Monday Night Raw did is that they took a lot of the nuisances on SmackDown Live. Jinder Mahal is now on Monday Night Raw, which, believe me, whichever brand Jinder Mahal is on, he will be a nuisance to. The Riot Squad is now on Monday Night Raw. Again, nuisance. As far as that goes, Charlotte is still on SmackDown. Randy Orton is still on SmackDown. The Usos are still on SmackDown. So SmackDown is looking pretty healthy on that regard. I would call that a disappointment as far as Monday Night Raw goes, because the two assets and the two places that WWE needed to work on the most during the Superstar Shakeup, and that was their tag teams and their women's divisions. That was what needed the shakeup, and they failed to do that. Instead, they jumped at the throat of looking at all the exciting main eventers and all the mid-card talents, like the Mahals, like the Rudes, who we saw here tonight, like whoever the hell else, I can't even name all the talent, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler. They jumped at all the mid-card and upper main event talent, and they stopped with one or two teams who we really didn't want to see on Monday Night Raw, instead of fixing the tag team division, because we know well and good that that tag team division, especially on Raw, needs fixing. Same thing with the women's division on Monday Night Raw. You need some shakeup. We should have seen a Charlotte coming over to Monday Night Raw. We saw the Riot Squad instead. We saw Natalya instead. And that really doesn't bode well, because I'm predicting that tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, we're going to see SmackDown taking a Sasha, taking a Bayley. Meanwhile, what did Monday Night Raw receive? They received the Riot Squad? Are you kidding me? That is absolutely pathetic and useless. That is absolutely pathetic and useless. And now Natalya is apparently a babyface again because Ronda Rousey's on Monday Night Raw and they're real life friends. Are you kidding me? Where is that coming from right there? It makes no sense to me. Top all these meaningless and clearly rushed transactions from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw with an absolutely propaganda-filled Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe promo, and you've got just an awful show here tonight. I could not stand by the third hour what we were seeing here tonight on Monday Night Raw. I mean, this shakeup was rushed. It was so clear that this shakeup was rushed. You needed to give this time, and you needed to have this after Backlash so you can sincerely think about who you're moving over and how this is going to benefit your brands. But instead, you just quick, rush everybody over to Monday Night Raw with no thought or reasoning behind why you want a Dolph Ziggler here, behind why you want a Bobby Roode here, behind why you want a Jinder Mahal on your brand. I mean, it makes no sense. You had Dolph Ziggler come out here tonight to be interrupted by Titus Worldwide. You mean to tell me that Dolph Ziggler, first of all, introduces Drew McIntyre. What does Dolph Ziggler have to do with Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre, you look at the shape he's in, he should have debuted in the segment with Roman Reigns because he is world championship caliber. Taking a look at him, just his physique, and definitely if you see him step in the ring. You mean to tell me you introduced Drew McIntyre and brought Dolph Ziggler over from Smackdown Live to feud with Titus Worldwide? That screams a rushed superstar shakeup to me. And if it doesn't to you, I do not know what you are watching here tonight. A lot of decisions that made absolutely zero sense here tonight on Monday Night Raw. I'm probably forgetting something because there were so many transactions from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. But we're, of course, going to talk about this in detail. Let me just, of course, tell you guys to make sure to go check out all of the content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And the reason I say that is because there is so much other content to go check out. Of course, make sure to go check out the Behind the Mic that was uploaded this past Sunday. We're talking some huge news on Behind the Mic having to do with the reason why Roman Reigns was beaten by Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34, as well as the reason why Asuka lost her undefeated streak. We talked about this very superstar shakeup and why this was absolutely pathetic, and a lot of the things that I said there rung true after watching Monday Night Raw here tonight. So make sure to go check out Behind the Mic, episode number 61. A lot of big stuff on there. Make sure to go check it out. Do not miss it. So that was uploaded this past Sunday, as well as your Monday Night Raw and SmackDown reviews. The content will be ramping up. I know this past week was not the biggest week for content. I'm going to try to be ramping it up following this Wednesday. This Wednesday, I'm going to have a big clear up in my schedule, hopefully, and I'll be able to be pushing out that content for you. Of course, John Cena and Nikki Bella breaking up. That was one of the big news stories that I haven't been able to cover yet. Let's just talk about it quickly here by saying what needs to be said. Who cares? Does it have anything to do with WWE television? Does it have anything to do with Monday Night Raw? No. The only thing this really does is that going back and watching WrestleMania 33, it deflates that show even more because most of the things that happened on that show, or at least the big things that happened on that show, are now turning out to not even be true. The Undertaker's retirement. Hey, Undertaker just wrestled a match at WrestleMania 34 against John Cena, and he's already been announced, well, to face Rusev again. It was first Rusev, then Chris Jericho, now Rusev again in a casket match at the Greatest Royal Rumble. So clearly the Undertaker's not retired. And now you can also count out John Cena and Nikki Bella's engagement or the proposal that happened at WrestleMania 33 because they're finished. That is not happening. So that's that. Who cares? I heard that if they hadn't gone with that bullshit engagement that we saw at WrestleMania 33, that we would have seen a lot better stuff at WrestleMania 33. It would have been The Miz versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. John Cena versus The Undertaker would have happened at 33. We would have been spared from that awful matchup that we seen between Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. Roman Reigns could have been in a better matchup, in a better slot, maybe against Samoa Joe at WrestleMania 33 if you realistically think about it. That show could have turned out a lot better if it were not for John Cena wasting time and staying in this relationship with Nikki Bella, which we don't even know if it was real. Maybe this was just for the publicity. We don't know, and quite frankly, that's their personal business. I don't care. So that's just the situation right there. John Cena and Nikki Bella broke up. I'm just talking about that right here real quick because quite frankly, for now, this is the quickest forum that I have to talk about that right here on the Monday Night Raw review. But of course, if you like my discussion here on Monday Night Raw, everything having to do with the WWE right here is covered on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. So of course, make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel because we come out with new content each and every single week, just like you're watching right here with your Monday Night Raw review. So make sure to subscribe. If you have not subscribed yet, I do not know what you're waiting for. And on top of subscribing, make sure to click on that notification bell so you can get those notifications straight to your mobile device. Make sure to capitalize on that, as well as to like or dislike if you think I'm a clown. If you think what I'm saying is absolutely ridiculous, show your opinion by clicking that dislike button. And of course, one of the best ways to show your opinion is to comment in the comment section below. Of course, I love responding and reading your comments, whether they're good or bad. Giving me feedback because your opinion is just as important as mine. But that is besides the point, because for now we're going to go straight into talking about what happened here tonight on Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw did not seem to be starting off to the best start, but quite frankly, what we've seen here was the best part of Monday Night Raw, and evidently it had to do with the modern day failure Raw. Coming over to Monday Night Raw, Jinder Mahal is now on Monday Night Raw, and of course, he entered the stage as United States Champion here tonight, but that's where the good came, because he left Raw here tonight without that very title. What do I speak of here? Well, we had an impromptu United States Championship match here tonight. It was Kurt Angle who came out. Of course, he welcomed us to the first night of the Superstar Shakeup and promised big surprises for here tonight. He goes to get started, but he's interrupted by Sunil Singh, and I think we all collectively sighed, and we bitched, and we moaned, and we said, oh my god, why the hell is this man on Monday Night Raw? I mean, the way I looked at it, this bodes well for Smackdown Live, because they just got rid of some of their biggest dead weight. Smackdown Live, I don't care what you tell me, just got better, one segment better, because we are spared from the misery that is seeing Jinder Mahal each and every single week. I'm going to be much more excited to watch SmackDown Live, because Jinder Mahal coming over and bringing the United States Championship over to Monday Night Raw pretty much confirms that we're going to see Seth Rollins move over with the Intercontinental Championship back to SmackDown Live. And I like the sound of that a hell of a lot more than having Jinder Mahal with the United States Championship, which right now is in Schitt's Creek, but I think that's going to take a turn for the better as far as the lineage and the prestige right now the United States Championship goes, because by the end of this match, or by the end of this segment, I guess you can say, it was Jeff Hardy winning the United States Championship, and I'm definitely excited about that, but I'm glad that it does look like Seth Rollins is going to be moving over to SmackDown Live. I mean, it's confirmed. It makes no sense to have the United States Championships and the Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw. It makes no sense to have two mid-card titles on one brand. That would be foolish and ridiculous. It's just not going to happen. Hopefully, along with Seth Rollins, we can see the move of a Finn Balor, perhaps, of a Braun Strowman, perhaps, to SmackDown Live. We'll talk about that in more detail as we go on here. But Jinder Mahal, of course, came out. Kurt Angle was interrupted by Sunil Singh. He goes to get started, but he's interrupted by Sunil, who introduces the newest member of the Raw roster, WWE United States Champion Jinder Mahal. Jinder hits the ring and fans boo. He starts talking all this garbage. He congratulates Angle on signing the modern day failure Raw to Raw and securing it as the A show. Yeah, sure. Jinder wants to know why he was brought to Raw in an SUV when he only travels in a limousine with a motorcade. Angle officially welcomes Jinder and says they never agreed on a limo. Jinder rants about how he's better than everyone else, but Angle isn't so sure. Fans chant "You suck" as Jinder demands the same treatment as Angle's other champion, WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. The back and forth leads to Angle booking Jinder in a title match right now. So Angle was pretty much like, oh yeah, you think you're the biggest champion? You know what? Let's put that to the test. Whoever the hell wants to come out here and challenge Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship, you are welcome to. And out came Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy's great. Jeff Hardy's absolutely fantastic. This was actually a damn good match. Jinder Mahal and Jeff Hardy did good in this matchup, and I'll tell you one of the reasons why this was such a great matchup. The crowd was hot. The crowd was hot to start off this show. We were in Hartford, Connecticut here tonight. This was a very, very good crowd, especially at the beginning of the show. They popped for Jeff Hardy. They popped for a lot of the things we saw in this matchup. They died down as the night went on, significantly in my opinion. But as far as this matchup goes, they responded very, very well. And there was some nice stuff in this matchup. Jinder Mahal had a big kick. That was a nice near fall right there. I was waiting for WWE to let us all down like they love to do and have Jinder Mahal retain his United States Championship. And none of this would have been worth it. But thank the Lord, Jeff Hardy hit a twist of fate, followed it with the Swanton Bomb, and we've seen a new United States champion here tonight on Monday Night Raw. You keep this title on Jeff Hardy, you have him defended on Monday Night Raw against the likes of Kevin Owens, against the likes of Bobby Roode, which you should turn heel. We will get to that. Against the likes of Sami Zayn, against the likes, I guess he's going to have to defend it once again against Jinder Mahal. So Jeff Hardy's going to be a great champion. He's great in the ring. He's great in the ring, and we saw that here tonight because he was able to bring Jinder Mahal, of all people, to a good to decent matchup here tonight on Monday Night Raw. I'm going to love seeing Jeff Hardy hold the United States Championship. Hopefully he gets a nice reign instead of these 2-week reigns that WWE has loved to do on Smackdown Live with the United States Championship. I completely forgot that Baron Corbin was United States Champion. Here tonight on commentary, they talked about how Bobby Roode was United States Champion. Again, I completely forgot. Same thing with Randy Orton. I'm going to forget that he was United States Champion within a week probably. These United States title reigns have been absolutely useless, and the hot shot of the title that we've seen here tonight, Jinder Mahal held the title for 8 days. 8 goddamn days, bro. Again, this just goes to show you, as good as the match was and as excited that I am and as the right decision was to put the title on Jeff Hardy, this just goes to show you how WWE was not prepared for the Superstar Shakeup because they had Jinder Mahal lose the United States Championship here tonight to Jeff Hardy in a hot shot title win. So that just goes to show you how WWE rushed the booking of all of this. Realistically, it should have been Rusev with the United States Championship, but that's a whole different story that you can go check out, and we definitely go on that rant on my WrestleMania 34 review, which all of you should go check out. Cheap plug, I know, but whatever. Anyway, still to come, it was The Miz who would host Miz TV and reveal a roster move that will change the face of Raw. Also, Bayley versus Sasha Banks. But back from the break, we see what just happened with Hardy and Mahal. Renee Young approaches Jinder Mahal, and of course he's not happy. Jinder accuses Hardy and Kurt Angle of running a conspiracy by bringing him to Raw, of course, since Kurt Angle's the Olympic gold medalist, Mr. USA, and Jinder's the foreign heel. Jinder reveals that he's getting his rematch on April 27th in Saudi Arabia at the Greatest Royal Rumble event. Clearly, they were going to book Jinder in a prominent role. I'm actually surprised they're not having Jinder walk in to the Saudi Arabia event with a title. It seems like every time that he's about to go into one of these events that's in a country that you would think receives Jinder well, like India, he lost the WWE Championship before that. Now he's losing the United States Championship before walking into Saudi Arabia. But whatever. Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal will happen at that venture, and I really don't care for it. I just want Jeff Hardy get his rematch with Jinder Mahal and move on to bigger and better things, because there's definitely a lot of better superstars on Monday Night Raw than Jinder Mahal. Everybody's better than Jinder Mahal. Holy crap. But Jeff Hardy holding the United States Championship on Monday Night Raw. I like it. Anyways, Jinder, he keeps speaking, but we couldn't hear him, and this just came off as so awkward, so awkward. The No Way Jose music started playing. It was, no way, Jose, no way, Jose, and it's like Jinder Mahal didn't react to it at all. Jinder Mahal didn't react to it at all, and No Way Jose came in like 30 seconds later, and it was like 30 seconds. Jinder just kept cutting his promo. We couldn't hear him. We couldn't hear him. Anyways, No Way Jose walked up, and he told Jinder Mahal to smile, and clearly Jinder wasn't because he just lost the United States Championship. I don't care. No Way Jose versus Jinder Mahal. I mean, if that's the first program you want to give No Way Jose, I don't really mind it. It's nothing too prominent, but you got to get No Way Jose into something. I think a feud against Jinder Mahal is quite painless, and it does guarantee that Jinder Mahal isn't going to win the United States Championship back, which I am fine with. So we move on here to Bayley versus Sasha Banks, and we go to the ring. Out comes Bayley and Sasha Banks. So this matchup, I mean, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, we already know Bayley and Sasha Banks are capable of putting on a great matchup. We've seen it. It's one of the best women's matchup, probably the best women's matchup of all time. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I cannot talk enough good things about that matchup. And if you go back and watch my every video before WrestleMania 34, you will know that I was an adamant believer, and still am an adamant believer, that the Raw Women's Championship matchup going into WrestleMania should not have been Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. It should have been Sasha Banks and Bayley for that Raw Women's Championship. That was not the case, And, of course, they were not going to give away a finish or even a full match at that between Sasha and Bayley. They want to capitalize on that at a pay-per-view. I'd love to see it at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's Championship. Do I think that's going to happen in a women's division with Ember Moon, Ronda Rousey, Natalya, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss? I don't think so, but I'd love to see Sasha and Bayley go at it at a pay-per-view. You already know how much of a fan I am of that match. And quite frankly, the feud isn't too bad, what they're putting on either. But the problem here tonight was that as soon as this matchup started to pick up, and damn it did, these women started to scrap at each other. They were fighting. She hit a stiff double knees, did Sasha Banks, into the corner, and she locked in a bank statement. It was like a series of roll-ups, and then Sasha got it into a bank statement, and it looked like Bayley was going to tap. The crowd was actually starting to pop for this quite a bit, and the most underwhelming thing that could have happened because it was the Riot Squad. The Riot Squad who attacked Sasha and Bayley. You've got to be kidding me with this one. This made absolutely no goddamn sense. Clearly the plan here is to move Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose over to Smackdown Live in exchange for the Riot Squad, because clearly Paige, the leader of Absolution, aka Absolutely Awful, is on Smackdown Live, and you're going to have her vouch in whatever storyline you want to pull there for Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So you had to move the Riot Squad over to Monday Night Raw. As far as this attack goes, it's the same crap that we've been seeing on SmackDown Live for the past 5 months that these women have been, or however long it's been. I think it's been 5 months. For the past 5 months that these women have been on SmackDown Live, we've seen this attack literally a million times. They had no impact on SmackDown. What do you expect them to do on Raw? Absolutely squash is what I expect them to do. They attack Sasha and Bayley. I'm guessing this is Sasha and Bayley's farewell for Monday Night Raw. They definitely need it. They need room to breathe on SmackDown Live. Then again, I'm not sure how much room they will get, because on SmackDown Live you have Becky, you have Charlotte, you're going to have Asuka, you're going to have Sasha, you're going to have Becky. That SmackDown division is going to be looking stacked if that's what we're going to have. And then, of course, you're going to have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, the dead weight of that division. But SmackDown Live, if that's what they're planning on doing, SmackDown is looking a lot better than Raw. And clearly that's the case because they're trying to build Raw around Ronda Rousey. But I don't know what exactly they're going to do there. If that is the plan, you're going to have all 4 horsewomen on SmackDown Live. And that actually has me thinking you're going to have the 4 horsewomen on SmackDown Live, and perhaps by the time we get to Survivor Series, you're going to have the 4 horsewomen of UFC up on Monday Night Raw. And of course, that's going to transition into the 4 horsewomen of UFC versus the 4 horsewomen of WWE match that WWE wanted to do at Survivor Series last year. So maybe that's what's going on right there. I'm not too sure about that. But all I know was Charlotte, as I expected to happen, did not show up on Monday Night Raw here tonight. It was just the Riot Squad and Natalya as far as women's call-ups go. So, I mean, that's that. I don't know what they're planning to do on Monday Night Raw. Their women's division isn't looking, besides Ember Moon, it isn't looking as far as great in-ring competitors. It isn't looking too amazing on there. But the Riot Squad debuted here tonight on Raw. We move to the Authors of Pain versus Rhino and Heath Slater. Was it just me with this matchup, or did Rhino and Heath Slater get in way too much offense? Holy crap, they were actually scrapping in there with the Authors of Pain. This is their second week in, and you mean to tell me Rhino and Heath Slater, an absolutely irrelevant, useless tag team on Monday Night Raw, is putting up a fight against the Authors of Pain? Now, the matchup ended in like 4 minutes, but they got quite a bit of offense in there. I don't know. Anyways, the Authors of Pain did come out victorious here tonight. A lot of people are predicting that without Paul Ellering, which they officially did dump Paul Ellering. I was wondering that on my Monday Night Raw review last week. They did dump Paul Ellering because, I mean, the reason doesn't have to do with the booking of Monday Night Raw. It's just that Paul Ellering isn't going to cooperate since he is not going to do the immense traveling dates that are required with the talent like the Authors of Pain. So that made a lot of sense right there as far as him wanting to work a lighter schedule on NXT. I would have him manage another team on NXT. Why not manage War Machine or War Raiders as they're not being called? War Raiders is an awful name, but whatever. Why not have the Autism or War Machine be managed by Paul Ellering. I think that's a solid idea, but a lot of people are predicting doom and gloom for the Authors of Pain now that they don't have a mouthpiece. I would definitely put another manager on the Authors of Pain. You can realistically put anybody on them. Anybody who's a great mouthpiece. Why not have them run with Paul Heyman? I don't think that'd be a half bad idea. I don't know. But the Authors of Pain, they need managers. They need to be able to talk, and I don't think they're going to bode well as far as that goes, and maybe that's where people are predicting doom and gloom. But I don't understand why WWE would mess up the Authors of Pain. They have done fine booking the Bludgeon Brothers on SmackDown Live. Just do what you're doing with the Bludgeons with the Authors of Pain. They booked the Authors of Pain perfectly down in NXT. Hopefully they do the same with the Bludgeon Brothers, or not the Bludgeon Brothers, the Authors of Pain on Monday Night Raw, because people are predicting early doom and gloom. The amount of offense Rhino and Heath Slater got here kind of made me see a little bit of that, but they did hit the last chapter, and they beat Rhino for the pin. We come back to a Miz TV segment, and this was probably the best Miz TV that we've ever seen. This was absolutely fantastic. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have made their way to Monday Night Raw. It was Stephanie McMahon who overruled Kurt Angle's decision not to let these guys back on Monday Night Raw. And I absolutely love it. And it's just been announced, Chad Gable, I'm seeing this as I was looking for the video. I was looking for the video on WWE, and Chad Gable will go solo on Monday Night Raw. I was looking for the Miz TV video. Are you kidding me with that decision right there? Holy crap, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I thought Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin should have been a tag team from SmackDown to come over to Monday Night Raw here tonight. But they've just announced that he will go solo. He's going to get eaten up on Monday Night Raw. The talent you have on Raw, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor right now, Seth Rollins, Jinder Mahal, No Way Jose, and now you're going to add Chad Gable to that as a solo competitor. I'm telling you, Shelton Benjamin got the better of that because he's going to be putting on some great singles matches on SmackDown Live where they'll probably actually have room for him. And another name, Jeff Hardy on Monday Night Raw. Where the hell is there going to be room for Chad Gable? But I'd love to see Chad Gable and Jeff Hardy on Monday Night Raw squaring off for that United States Championship. I'll tell you that much. But that's one of the... They announced this 19 minutes ago. So they didn't even announce it while Monday Night Raw was going on, or at least before Monday Night Raw. They announced it after Raw. Another one who came to Monday Night Raw here tonight was Baron Corbin. That was, I'm not even going to mention that because that was pretty much expected here tonight. Anyways, let me find this Miz TV segment for you guys, and I will play it for you guys. But Chad Gable, a singles competitor here tonight, that was just announced on WWE.com or WWE's YouTube page. He will be going off as a singles competitor from now on Monday Night Raw. I don't know how well I'm thinking of that. Chad Gable's fantastic in the ring, don't get me wrong, but he's going to get eaten up because there's a lot of sharks on Monday Night Raw. There's no doubt about that. Anyways, The Miz is headed to SmackDown Live. Here's the Miz TV segment that we've seen here tonight on Raw.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest members of Monday Night Raw. Get up out of your seats for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Let's get it. I love it.
This is big time. It's also weird. Why is it weird, Cole? Yeah, why is it weird? Well, because last week they had a match to determine who was going to get the final roster spot on Monday Night Raw.
Let me skip ahead here because I'm a little afraid of the copyright. Because the music's still playing anyways. This was hilarious. They all started jumping and hugging in the middle of the ring. That's absolutely fantastic. The Miz Siraj, Miz, and of course Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they start jumping around in the ring. Absolutely hilarious.
You don't have any control around here. I do. Kevin and Sami had their opportunity to make it on the Raw last week, and they both lost.
Yeah. About that, Kurt. See, there's an email that was just sent a few minutes ago that you should probably be aware of. And look, to sum up, plans have changed.
Yeah, and you know what, Kurt? I'll spare you having to get your little phone out and read the email. Actually, do you mind?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem, bud.
So Sami Zayn puts on these absolutely hilarious glasses. Holy fuck. This was hilarious.
Kurt, in light of recent events and your proclivity for making emotionally motivated decisions, I have no choice but to re-examine your handling of the situation regarding Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Last week, Sami and Kevin proved they belong on Raw, and to let them walk away would be a mistake of epic proportions. Therefore, I am hereby overruling your decision and officially awarding Raw contracts to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Sami Zayn is a fantastic heel.
Warmest regards, Stephanie McMahon.
What? Did you say Stephanie McMahon?
Yep.
As in Commissioner of Raw and Kurt Angle's boss, Stephanie McMahon?
Yep.
So what you're saying is that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are officially back on Monday Night Raw, and there's nothing Kurt Angle can do about it.
Sami and Kevin, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Say goodbye to The Miz.
This was a fantastic announcement right here.
Oh, that's why I came out here. I just got a call from Shane McMahon and Paige, and they told me that the former general manager, Daniel Bryan, was very adamant about getting you on Smackdown. I guess he still has pull over there.
This was great.
Do you have any idea? You have just made Smackdown Live go from the clear-cut B show to the show of WWE. The Miz, Taraj, and I will do exactly what we did here on Monday Night Raw. Shut your mouths. We will do exactly what we did. We will make Smackdown Live the most must-see television of all time. Shut up. Whoa. Who said we? The Miz, Taraj isn't going anywhere. They're staying. You're going.
So that was the announcement here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Miz is going to SmackDown Live. That's an absolutely fantastic announcement on Monday Night Raw here tonight. That was the best part of this segment. Well, Sami Zayn reading that letter from Stephanie McMahon wasn't too shabby either. That was absolutely hilarious. And it was pretty much expected that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens would be coming over to to Monday Night Raw. That was confirmed. It was pretty much you can predict that. You could be a dummy and you can predict that. But as far as Miz going over to SmackDown Live, that's absolutely exactly what needed to happen. And that was the first shakeup and transaction from Raw to SmackDown that was confirmed here tonight on the part of Miz going to SmackDown Live. This is exactly what's going to happen, and I can't wait to see the continued feud of Miz and Daniel Bryan. That's going to be great. That is going to be great. Miz and Daniel Bryan, of course, the original draft in 2016 and SmackDown in 2016. There was so much tension there, and we all wanted to see it escalate into a match because everything the Miz would say to Daniel Bryan was absolutely crazy, and you just wanted to see Daniel Bryan punch Miz in the face, but he couldn't. And now that storyline is finally going to get to be lived out. I am absolutely a fan of that. But let me tell you, Kurt Angle also announced here that there would be a 10-man tag in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Once again, this just goes to show you how this superstar shakeup was rushed here tonight. It was Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, who the hell else? Braun Strowman, and a mystery partner who did turn out to be Bobby Roode against the Miz, Miz, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This was absolutely god-awful. Who the hell wants to see a 10-man tag in the main event? You mean to tell me you have both rosters of Raw and SmackDown on deck, and the best you can do in the main event is give me a 10-man tag? That is absolutely ridiculous news right there, but this segment was great. Main event was not. that is besides the point. Roman Reigns was still to come here tonight on Monday Night Raw. We moved on to the Revival versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, and there was a complete confusion on my part as far as this tag team eliminator tournament goes on Monday Night Raw. I thought the Authors of Pain versus Rhino and Heath Slater was part of that eliminator tournament, and I was just completely confused as to the way the WWE was handling it. The Authors of Pain, ridiculously enough, are not in the tournament. It's just the Revival, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt. They did square off here tonight, and I completely predict that the Revival will be going over to SmackDown Live, and if the Revival does go over to SmackDown Live, they need a complete reset. They can legit carry that division if need be, if WWE presents the Revival in the correct light and stops treating them like these jobbers that they've been treated as on Monday Night Raw. With the 50-50 booking, they have absolutely no momentum. Going over to SmackDown Live is what they need, and they need to regain that momentum. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt picked up the win here tonight. That was pretty predictable. They're still the new team. You're not going to give them a loss just yet. I am actually predicting that they're going to hold the tag team championships, and there's no reason for them not to. I'm absolutely tired of seeing Sheamus and Cesaro hold the tag team championships. It will be Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt going to Saudi Arabia as far as the tag team championship matchup goes. Of course, the titles are vacant after Nicholas and Braun Strowman vacated them because a fourth grader is not going to hold the tag team championship on Monday Night Raw. But that is besides the point. The only thing that's really notable about this is that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, they're getting this absolutely generic intro. They should be doing some wacky stuff and some wacky backstage segments along the lines of what we've seen last week with Jeff Hardy. I mean, they should be doing some crazier stuff. Really didn't do that here tonight, but that is besides the point. Just a small little aspect right there. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt stood tall, and they stared at Sheamus and Cesaro. But from Backlash, we take a look at Ronda Rousey and what she did last week. Back from the break, the Bar is backstage, and they get walked up to by Breezango. And Breezango is a team. They're the only tag team that came over to Monday Night Raw here tonight. So Monday Night Raw's, their tag teams, as far as legitimate tag team goes, I think they're going to actually try to build up Breezango. If they try to build up Breezango, I'm absolutely fine considering them a good tag team. And it looks, from the looks of it, that they're going to try to do that. Here tonight, Sheamus and Cesaro lost to Breezango in a matchup later in the night. The matchup wasn't anything too special, but Sheamus and Cesaro actually lost to Breezango. So if they actually try to build up Breezango as a legitimate tag team that can actually vie for gold, look at your tag teams right now on Monday Night Raw. Breezango, I know they can do fantastic work. Fandango and Tyler Breeze are fantastic in the ring. So you got Breezango, you got Sheamus and Cesaro, you got the Authors of Pain, and you have Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. So that's what you have right there. I don't know. That's not too many tag teams. That's 4 tag teams. That's not a division. It's not a division at all. You need more tag teams than that. I'm not sure if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to operate in the tag team division. I think at this point, with how Monday Night Raw's mid-card and upper mid-card are looking after tonight and how stacked they are, I think you're going to need to have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the tag team division. And I think that's fine. I think they work well, and it will be a different dynamic for them if they're part of the tag team division. And another thing is that it's looking like Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre might be part of the tag team division. I don't like that at all. Drew McIntyre should be vying for the Universal Championship, the World Championship. He should realistically, it's ridiculous that Drew McIntyre is now on Monday Night Raw, and Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar are the ones being rumored to be vying for championship gold. That's ridiculous. Drew McIntyre should be your champion, but that's besides the point. That is besides the point. So your tag team division really isn't looking too fleshed out here tonight on Monday Night Raw, but they can build teams up. If they put effort and build teams up, I think they'll be absolutely fine. But they are losing the Revival to SmackDown Live. That's something I'm absolutely sure of. I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case. But we get a brief look at Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon. Ronda's backstage with Kurt Angle now talking about the WrestleMania 34 when Angle says Stephanie won't go away quietly, and there's no telling what she has planned for the shakeup. There's a knock at the door, and in comes Natalya. She and Rousey hug and tell Angle that they trained together. Angle praises Natalya, and she campaigned hard to come to Raw. Natalya is excited to prove she's the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be, or maybe the second best now that Rousey's here. So Natalya was playing full babyface here tonight, and she even went one-on-one with Mandy Rose. But we did move on here to Mickie James versus Ember Moon. This matchup was nothing too special, and I think if you would have given this matchup 10 to 15 minutes, this shit would have picked up, and we would have seen a fantastic matchup here tonight between Ember Moon and Mickie James. As soon as it started to pick up, I think it ended. Nia Jax was on commentary. This matchup was even interrupted by Alexa Bliss cutting a little promo saying why she wasn't on commentary. This feud is absolute garbage. The fact that this is what you're going with, and Ember Moon and Mickie James are the side pieces, I'd rather see Mickie James and Ember Moon fight for the Women's Championship themselves rather than Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. They should be the sideshow, building towards Ember and Mickie for the Raw Women's Championship. But that is besides the point. Alexa Bliss interrupted this matchup, pretty much saying that Nia's the bully, that's why she's not going out to commentary. Who cares? Who cares? Ember Moon hits a beautiful clips. Mickie James sold the hell out of it. She gets the victory here tonight. And Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, no progression, because there's nothing to progress. That's what I got to say about that. Anyways, after the match, Moon stands tall. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, this was pretty much a meaningless, time-filling segment here tonight on Monday Night Raw. It was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens backstage after tonight's main event. Sami says they need to focus on taking Braun Strowman out. Owens wonders about the mystery man. The Miz chimes in and asks about working for Shane McMahon and how he will treat Miz. Sami asks Miz to focus on tonight's match and not his blue brand return. Owens and Sami also want Miz to do something about the Miztourage, who are off to doing nothing at the side. Miz wants his transition to be must-see. I say, who cares? Anyways, back from the break, Apollo is in the ring with Titus O'Neil and Dana Brooke. The newest member of the Raw roster comes out, Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler confronts Titus Worldwide, and at this point, I'm like, holy crap, what the hell are you doing here? Dolph Ziggler being confronted by Titus Worldwide. Another prime example of why this shakeup was clearly rushed. But this, I'll tell you, it was made significantly better. And it was made significantly better by the fact that Drew McIntyre came out. And there's one thing I absolutely adore about this. It looks like Drew McIntyre is going to be coming to Monday Night Raw. And he's in the right role that he actually wasn't in on NXT. And that's as a heel. I think Drew McIntyre cutting a promo, especially as a heel, doing in-ring work as a heel, with the aggression and the legitimacy that you see in the ring from him, and the stiffness in that ring that you see from Drew McIntyre, holy crap, as a heel, alongside Dolph Ziggler, especially if Ziggler's cutting the promos for him, I think we can see some amazing stuff from Drew McIntyre. I'm just interested to see whether or not this is going to be a team or a unit, maybe a little bit of a faction type thing, I don't know. If they're going to be working together, a singles competitor, kind of like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have. But hopefully, this just doesn't get sidelined by everything else on Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre, with the way he looks, Drew McIntyre looks amazing. He should be one of the top priorities on Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre is legitimate. I was reporting a while back on Behind the Mic that this is going to be the guy that is going to replace Roman Reigns as the top guy in the WWE. And damn, I would be absolutely fine with that. If Drew McIntyre were the one, I would be fine with that. He's amazing in the ring, cuts a really solid and aggressive promo, which is something I love about Drew McIntyre, and he has the look. I am sure that as soon as Vince McMahon laid his eyes on the new and improved Drew McIntyre, he was questioning if he employed this man before, and he was saying, this guy, we gotta push this guy. Drew McIntyre looks absolutely amazing. Amazing physique. That was something that really stuck out when he was in NXT. And hopefully something that they capitalize on, having such an amazing talent, and they do not waste this NXT call-up. Hopefully he doesn't get plagued by injury, because that's another thing that loves to derail superstars. It did it for Finn Balor, did it for the Revival, that's for sure. Hopefully the same thing doesn't happen to Drew McIntyre, who can be doing some amazing stuff in the WWE in the future, and I cannot wait to see it. I'll tell you that much. Drew McIntyre is on Monday Night Raw. As far as pairing him with Dolph Ziggler goes, I don't know about that. You know, Dolph Ziggler, he usually tends to be everybody's first feud when coming up from NXT. This time, he's actually leading in alongside he actually brought up the person we're seeing from NXT. Anyways, Drew McIntyre coming back from injury. He had a torn rotator cuff or whatever the hell it was. He came back quick. He was out he was out like in November, and he's back here in April. So that he came back quick. Drew McIntyre, 5-month recovery period. And I think the recovery period was originally stated to be like 8 to 9 months. So this guy is a beast. If that doesn't tell you that much, I'm certain that when you see him in the ring, it will tell you that much alone. Drew McIntyre's on Monday Night Raw. I completely expect his first match to be next week on Monday Night Raw against Titus Worldwide. It's going to be Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil against Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I'll tell you that much. But as far as Drew McIntyre being on Monday Night Raw, I can't wait to see what this guy has to offer. They had a beautiful Claymore into a zigzag. That was amazing. And yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing Apollo Crews versus Drew McIntyre. That sounds amazing in and of itself. If we can get that match at least out of this, I mean, I'm down. I am down. But we move on here, and we move on to this segment, which, despite Samoa Joe cutting another great promo here, I found absolutely repelling, because what Samoa Joe realistically did in this promo is that he talked up Brock Lesnar. He is building Brock Lesnar's feud with Roman Reigns for him, because Brock Lesnar will not show up on Monday Night Raw. And I found that absolutely pathetic here on Monday Night Raw. Samoa Joe cut another promo on Roman Reigns, and he talked a lot of what he talked last week on Monday Night Raw, but of course it's a Samoa Joe promo. So we saw a lot of fantastic stuff here tonight from Samoa Joe. I'm going to play the segment for you guys. Samoa Joe confronts Roman Reigns here tonight on Monday Night Raw.
Once again, I'm here, and Brock Lesnar isn't.
Saying the same shit for like the third week in a row.
And once again, I'm going to face Brock Lesnar. But it's not going down like it did at WrestleMania, because this time we're going to be in a steel cage.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm going to leave Brock Lesnar trapped in that cage, and then I'm heading back to Monday Night Raw.
So the steel cage.
Universal Champion.
And of course he has to say that to get the cheap pop for the part-time, right? They were not having Reigns here tonight.
Since tonight is the Superstar Shakeup, I'm going to go ahead and get this out the way. When I am the Universal Champion.
And listen to the pop for Joe.
Surprise. You come out here and you're so quick to brag about how you show up for work. But you know what? I've noticed something. The one thing that you don't brag about is getting the job done. Because the fact is, you haven't got the job done, and you never will.
Listen to the intensity, listen to the delivery, listen to the tone, listen to the emphasis. Everything about Joe's promo is fantastic.
You see, you talk about this cage match and you say, hey, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be a champion. But what you fail to understand is you're not getting in the ring with a normal superstar. No, you're getting in there with a beast. One that has beat you not once, not twice, but every time that you stepped into the ring with him. Why don't you come on down here and let's see what your lazy fat ass can do.
Again, Roman gets the curse. He gets to say ass.
Oh boy, here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
So Joe T's getting in the ring with Roman Reigns. Long story short, he did not get in the ring with Roman Reigns. And again, Roman Reigns gets to look like the hero. He gets to look like the babyface. Except nobody's buying it. Again, you could look at the petty attempts and they come right at you. One, Joe's promo, he was talking about how Brock Lesnar can beat Roman Reigns. He wasn't even talking himself up. He had to talk about Brock Lesnar, and that gives Roman Reigns the easy outing. Instead of Joe being able to state what is true, Joe talked about Lesnar. And they even played a video package in the middle of Joe's promo showing Lesnar beating up Reigns. And Reigns gets the easy line of, that's Brock Lesnar. How about you? How about you? You can't beat me. So, Samoa Joe, I mean, why are you playing Roman Reigns up as a heel? Or a babyface, I should say. When you should be playing him up as a heel. Nobody's buying. Nobody's buying the heel or the babyface in Roman Reigns. They love the heel in Samoa Joe. Because Samoa Joe is the right Samoan who should be going for that Universal Championship. No doubt about it. Is it going to happen? Hell no. If WWE doesn't even put the title on Reigns, they're going to put it on Bobby Lashley, who's looking as generic as all hell. Who's looking the same bullshit babyface as Roman Reigns. I'm tired of this force-fed garbage from the WWE. They continue to give you petty attempts to try to get Roman Reigns some type of dumb reaction, saying the same part-time crap that he's been saying for the past 3 weeks, and nobody's buying it. Yet WWE completely continues to play the blind goat here tonight on Monday Night Raw, and continues to put Roman Reigns in the situation where nobody buys into anything he does. Absolutely ridiculous stuff right there. But that is besides the point. We move on here on your Monday Night Raw review. Samoa Joe being absolutely undermined, and all his talent being undermined in favor of this Roman Reigns initiative. That is something that I definitely do not favor. He's in just going to take an L at the Backlash pay-per-view, and that's not something Samoa Joe deserves. He deserves to be going one-on-one with Brock Lesnar at Saudi Arabia. Something I forgot to bring up last week on your Monday Night Raw review, just because of the simple fact that there was so much to talk about, is the fact that what did Roman Reigns do to earn his Universal Championship shot? He earned his Universal Championship shot at the WrestleMania pay-per-view by winning the Elimination Chamber. That's one shot at the Universal Championship. What did he do to earn the Universal Championship opportunity for the Greatest Royal Rumble? Nothing. Nothing at all. So, you mean to tell me Roman deserves this Universal Championship shot? Why doesn't Samoa Joe bring that up? Oh yeah, you won't script that in Samoa Joe's mouth because that makes too much sense. That makes a little bit of too much sense. Meanwhile, you have Jonathan Coachman coming out on Twitter saying that the reason that Roman Reigns is getting this Universal Championship shot is because he can take a beating. What does that have to do with anything? He didn't earn it. He lost. He lost. Anyways, Mandy Rose versus Natalya. Who the hell cares? Natalya wins this meaningless matchup with the sharpshooter. Who cares? Anyways, after the matchup, Natalya was double-teamed by Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose for Ronda Rousey to come out and beat up Sonya Deville. Who cares? Who cares? Sonya Deville, you knew this was going to happen as soon as Ronda Rousey stepped onto the scene. This MMA fighter gimmick, you've been completely destroyed by Ronda Rousey twice now. You look like a freaking joke compared to Ronda Rousey, and it's absolutely ridiculous at that. Who cares? Who the hell cares? This segment was useless. We go to Breezango versus The Bar. This was a decent matchup here, and Breezango actually got the win. So like I said, if you portray Breezango in a more serious note, they can still do the thing where they're giving everybody tickets, but calm down with the fashion files being so ridiculous. We don't need to see that on Monday Night Raw. Portray them as a legitimate tag team that actually steps in the ring, that actually gets wins here and there, that's actually vying for the tag team championships. Why not? Why not? Anyways, WWE, we move on here to Renee Young backstage with Elias. This was nothing much. They really downgraded Elias here tonight because he was backstage doing his little skit. He was with Renee Young, who he called Rachel, and he decided he's not performing here tonight because he only plays in the big shows from now on. And Hartford definitely is not one of those big shows. Elias brings up Bobby Lashley. I'm expecting fully to see Bobby Lashley versus Elias, whether it's at the Greatest Royal Rumble or at Backlash. I fully expect to see that. Anyways, he says Lashley should sit down in the crowd and worship him like everyone else. Elias says if Lashley interrupts him one more time, he will find out what everyone else knows, that WWE stands for Walk with Elias. We hear fans go along with him in the arena. Elias mentions how he won't perform for the crowd tonight, but he will give Renee the private concert that she wants. He exits on and says, we don't have time for a performance. Renee Young interrupts him saying that we don't have time for a performance, and she does something that realistically you should always do in a backstage segment. She says, back to you, Cole. Why the hell don't you do that every goddamn time? Why don't you throw it back to the commentators? That's something so small, but just a detail that's missing from these backstage interviews. Throw it back to the commentators from these backstage segments. But that's just a little nitpick of mine. On Monday Night Raw here tonight, we move on to Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas versus Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and Bobby Roode. The 10-man tag. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's a 10-man tag on Monday Night Raw. Not really, but Bobby Roode debuted here tonight on Monday Night Raw. This was a little bit exciting because I didn't know who it was. I thought it was going to be Drew McIntyre in this 10-man tag. But, of course, he debuted earlier in the night alongside Dolph Ziggler. So I was surprised to see Bobby Roode come out. Or, not surprised, but I was a little bit like, oh, yeah, he's one of those names who I was thinking about moving over to Monday Night Raw in the Superstar Shakeup. So it was a little decent surprise when he came out. I mean, he was on the side clearly of the baby faces here tonight, but it's so clear that you need to turn Bobby Roode heel. I understand that it's his first night on Monday Night Raw, but this guy needs to go heel. There's no way he's going to survive and do anything of importance on Monday Night Raw if he is not turning heel and challenging a Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship. Oh my god, that'd be a great feud. That would be such a great feud. Why not, bro? Why not? He thrives in that role. You failed to do it on SmackDown, and I feel like I'm repeating myself from when Bobby Roode was debuting on SmackDown Live this past summer, after SummerSlam I should say, when we were saying, alright, the first week if he's a babyface on SmackDown Live it's alright, but hopefully they don't keep it. They kept it, and it's been a failure. He had a useless United States Championship run. Move him away from that. Do something meaningful and impactful with him. And what you can do that is meaningful and impactful with Bobby Roode is to turn him heel. Speaking of babyface and heel turns, it was the Miz Taraj here tonight. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, who turned on the Miz before he goes to SmackDown Live. I don't understand what the point of this was. I guess this is a babyface turn for them. I have no idea. Hopefully they can build those two guys up in the tag team division. I doubt it completely, but that is besides the point because Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel refused to tag in, and that left the Miz in the ring with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman hit a big power slam, and that is the Miz's farewell from Monday Night Raw as he goes to SmackDown Live for presumably another year, and we see what he does on there, which is going to be fantastic. That's where I want to see the Miz against Daniel Bryan. This is going to be great. Cannot wait to see it. But besides that, that was all here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Just running through a couple more of these names that were brought in on the shakeup. Mike Kanellis, this is WWE.com, announced he was not on the show. Mike Kanellis was brought over on the shakeup. They're not going to do anything with him. I can guarantee you that. We mentioned Baron Corbin. He's going to be a nice little asset to Monday Night Raw right there, especially in the mid-card. Again, another feud we can see for the United States Championship. Baron Corbin and Jeff Hardy. But that was announced on that was just a little promo package on Monday Night Raw here tonight. Going to be interesting to see what Baron Corbin does. Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. Again, going to SmackDown, getting rid of dead weight. Mojo Rawley was exactly that. He is now on Monday Night Raw. What the hell they're going to do with Mojo Rawley on Monday Night Raw? I'm actually scared that this is going to be one of those guys that they push for no reason. But I don't know about that. Those were just some of the names brought up in the shakeup. I don't know if there were any more brought up on WWE.com that were not mentioned on Monday Night Raw. But that's the Superstar shakeup. It felt rushed. It felt underwhelming. Again, you had these superstars just randomly come out throughout the night on Monday Night Raw. It could have been presented to us better. I did not like it whatsoever. This Monday Night Raw ended up being the same terrible garbage that we are akin to every single week here on Monday Night Raw. But for now, that's all right here on Monday Night Raw on your weekly review here. Make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like. Make sure to comment right here on Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, because for now, this is going to be all from Joel Perez, of course, of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. For now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I will see you next time right here on Ringside Wrestling.